Are you afraid to think about the changing environment and what it can bring us in the near future? Between climate change and natural disasters, it's pretty terrifying to think about the environment, isn't it? The calamities on our planet are increasing every 10 years, and 2030 is considered the most dangerous decade for life that can bring along hundreds of disasters with it. Join us as we discuss what catastrophes could destroy us tomorrow and what precautions we could take to prepare for any future disaster. 7. Volcanic eruption. The Cumbre Vieja is a volcano on the island of La Palma that continues to erupt for months, emitting lava and ash with it in 2021. The eruption lasted longer and produced more ash and lava than any in recorded history. Unlike other volcanoes, Cumbre Vieja has extended eruptions, with the shortest one that lasted for 25 days in 1971. The eruption of 2021 caused thousands of homes to be destroyed, and more than 5,000 people had to be evacuated. Many people were seen removing volcanic ash using shovels that had piled up on top of the houses. Scientists observed that now there is no space left for accumulated magma, which can cause eruptions to last even longer or maybe never ending. The prediction of endless eruption created fear in the minds of people and is a heads up for safety precautions, as the outbreak could destroy thousands of homes and can deteriorate people's health by toxic substances that can accumulate in the human body. 6. Possible tsunami. On the southeast coast of the big island of Hawaii is the Helena Slump. Its entire south flank has been observed to be unstable, which is sliding seaward due to the gravity and forceful injection of magma. This current movement has created a threat that it could result in a mega tsunami if the south flank suddenly falls into the ocean. The same happened 100,000 years ago when a speck of the slump slid seaward, and Australia and the United States were affected by the tsunami of Hawaii. The slides of the south flank have been termed as slump by geologists that move only a few inches a year but can result in much bigger movements. Now Hawaii has been breaking away more rapidly, i.e. at the rate of 4 inches per year, which means worse waves are possible in the near future. What will happen if the entire block breaks off? It could result in intense earthquakes and tsunamis that could destroy the nearby cities of the Hawaiian Islands. 5. Tsunami in the North Sea and Maldives. Rising oceans make tsunamis more dangerous. Even the slightest sea level rise can increase the devastating effects of tidal waves. About 6,000 years ago, the rising sea levels of the North Sea resulted in massive landslides of ice walls that caused a 6-meter tsunami. Due to the big mass that falls into the sea, a huge amount of water is lifted, leading to a large wave formation. When this wave reaches the coast, it hits the shallow water, causing the fast-travelling wave to slow down. The front water falls back and hits the coming water from behind, resulting in an ever-increasing huge wave that causes a tsunami. Now the sea levels are rising again due to human-induced climate change, and we are more likely to foresee tsunamis like what happened 6,000 years ago. The residents of the UK, Ireland and Greenland will see a hard time if the safety measures are not taken seriously. Similarly, the Maldives is made up of thousands of islands, and the country is only about 2 meters above sea level. In 2004, the country was devastated by the tsunami, and if the polar ice caps melt and the sea level rise by 3 feet, there is a possibility that the country will completely sink into the ocean. 4. A disaster can destroy the Pacific Northwest. The Pacific Northwest is likely to hit disaster at some point to come, as the earthquake cycle is roughly 243 years, and the Pacific Northwest is now 315 years into that cycle. The entire region seems unprepared for the foreseen disaster, as many buildings were built in the major cities that sit on the continent's largest fault line. Although it's only a prediction, if precautions are not taken immediately, Seattle and Portland are more likely to get destroyed. 3. Alaska's tsunami hazard. Tsunamis are always a significant threat in Alaska. It can happen due to earthquakes that shift the ocean bottom displacing water, landslides triggered by earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions displacing water and generating a tsunami. Located in Alaska is the Berry Arm landslide, and the steep of slope in Berry's Arm is seen moving rapidly, which could trigger a tsunami in Alaska. As per the researchers, it has been seen moving at a rate of 1.6 to 2.7 inches per day since 2020, and could slide into the water below as the moving steep is directly above the water. Besides Berry's Arm, other slopes are also left exposed and unstable due to glaciers. Due to this, the area remains a threat to tourism, infrastructure and marine traffic. 2. Southern California. California is an earthquake country that sometimes becomes very destructive. It is situated on a major fault line known as the San Andreas Fault, which is the main reason for frequent earthquakes in California. As per geologists, the earthquake in Southern California is long overdue, and it is more likely that some areas across the fault will experience it in the next few years. The fault is the border between two huge plates under the earth. It stretches 800 miles through California past San Francisco. The plates are stationary and can produce big earthquakes when they move. There is a potential for a big earthquake in the San Andreas Fault system that would be disturbing for California. Although the earthquake will shake the entire state through a violent force, the cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco will be at a higher risk. It is not known when the earthquake will strike, but it will happen, and when it does, it will be devastating. 1. Cascadia Subduction Zone. Similar to San Andreas Fault, another fault line in the western United States is known as the Cascadia Subduction Zone. It runs for 700 miles along the Pacific Northwest coast, beginning in California and ending at Vancouver Island in Canada. It is known as a subduction zone due to one tectonic plate sliding underneath another. The area where the borders meet can be deadly. There is a very real possibility that the Cascadian zone could give way all at once. If that happens, the north region of the United States will experience an intense earthquake with a 9.2 magnitude. Besides this, a significant event within this zone will displace a remarkable amount of water flowing in all directions. Some will move toward Japan, but the majority will move to the American Northwest. The water will cover around 140,000 square miles of land, including cities like Seattle, Portland, and Olympia. Disasters can strike at any moment. Now that we have identified what disasters are more likely to happen in a few years, let's consider the precautions we could take to prepare for any disaster. Disasters are considered to be traumatic events. It is very important to learn ways and plan ahead for disasters. Prepare and assemble a disaster supply kit and stock it with essential items. Make sure it is kept in an easily accessible location so that you don't have to run around finding it in case of an emergency. Identify the best evacuation ways from your home or locate safe places in your home for each type of disaster. Create an evacuation plan and practice that plan with your family on a daily basis. Get emergency alerts and warnings. Prepare your home for an earthquake to keep you and your home safe by placing large and heavy objects on a lower shelf and breakable items in lower cabinets. Don't hang pictures and mirrors close to the bed or where people usually sit. In case of flooding, unplug all your electrical devices and move them to the height. Have at least 3 days of food, water and medication on hand. Don't panic. Stay calm and focused during an emergency by preparing for it before. Disasters are terrible things to think of. We can't tell when these disasters could happen, but there is a possibility they could happen in just a few years. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our video and give it a thumbs up. We'll be back with more videos soon. Take care and thanks for watching.